Technical indicators can be used in various ways. It can be used to find out the end of the analysis. Indicators can be used in real time to do real time market analysis and discretionary trading. Quantitative analysts also use indicators. Algorithmic traders also use indicators for feature engineering and purposes of putting conditions and filtering out amazing market regimes. So today, our purpose is going to be learn how to code Supertrend indicator. Now, you may say that it's easy, everything is available, it is easy to code Supertrend indicator, but trust me, it took me about one entire day the first time I tried to do this. Okay, and what I would encourage you to do is to code with me, right? And this is mainly for the understanding purpose of quantitative analysts out there, algorithmic traders out there, even discretionary traders for that matter, because you got to learn something, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to help ourselves code it. I'm going to help you code it, right? And I'm going to show how I'm coding it and why this is a little confusing for a lot of people and why it took me about one day when I started to explore how to code this is because it is not readily available, right? It's not that readily available in the TA library, at least when I was using it, and I believe now also. So you have to use another library, right? Not the TALIB, but another library, which is pandas underscore TA. And we are going to do exactly that. And at the end of this video, there is a little surprise for you with regards to the code. So please, please, please stay with me. Okay. What I would like you to do is open an IDE and you can at least get the important packages copied and pasted over here from somewhere, or probably just just can type this down. These are the standard packages I normally have on my page all the time, any notebook that I make, and I add a few more packages as per my need for that particular script which I'm coding. Okay. Now in my previous video where I showed you how to create the RSI divergence, how to plot and actually identify the RSI divergence, which was a very intricate video. You can find the link on my YouTube channel, or you can go to the video section of my YouTube channel or find the link. I'll put it down there in the description box. Okay. So in the RSI divergence, because again, it is a big challenge for people, it is commonly known that visually you can see RSI divergence, but it is uncommon for people to code it. So I help you doing that, right? And this again is slightly uncommon for people to code. And I'll tell you why, what it actually does and where the confusion lies, right? So as you can see on my screen, something came up, right? Okay, yeah, it is a bit late. I thought I'll come back from office and make this video. So it's like 10 p.m. right now over here. Anyway, so let's begin. Okay, so we have imported pandas as PD, numpy as NP, very conventional, datetime as DT, and a few things which we're going to use, matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and yfinance as YF. Now, what I'm going to do with matplotlib.pyplot is also very interesting. And since I've explained this previously in the RSI divergence, I'm not going to explain this code, but just understand that I'm going to import Cycler and make my charts look very beautiful, very, very aesthetically good looking. When you see my charts, you will know. Okay. Now, let's do one thing. Let's just first download pandas T library. The reason why I'm doing that is I want to show you in how exactly the package looks like, what are the contents of that package, right? So those who don't have it, I'm just putting it out here so that when you run this code, you're going to install this, right? So it's called pandas underscore TA. So since it's already there in my system, I think it will show like this, that it's already satisfied, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to import pandas underscore TA as TA. Okay. So now I'm going to call it TA, right? So let's explore what is there in TA. So we use the dir function and find out all the contents of the package. You can see that there are a lot of things and alphabetically ordered, right? So all the way from patterns and strategies and some other attributes, right? So we come quickly to the S alphabetical order and find that they do have the supertrend. Okay, so they do have the supertrend function, and which is what I have to explore. So just let me go down here and type ta dot supertrend. Okay, let me just type help ta dot supertrend to get to know more about what exactly this does and what are the contents of this function. Okay. So as you can see, the entire description of the function and how Supertrend is calculated is given over here. Now, if you look at Supertrend traditionally, this is how it looks like. This is just a daily chart of Nifty. Just took a basic chart. And you can see the signals, how this particular line is giving. Now, you might see that this line is red in color over here and green in color over here. What generally happens is it calculates two bands, which is the upper and the lower band. And ultimately, the indicator is presumed to be the particular band under which or over which the price is. Okay. Again, I'm not going into very deep details as I generally go in my structured courses because our purpose is to code it today. But in a general, by and large sense, you can understand that it is a trend following indicator. And every time the price is actually closing above the super trend, the lower band of the super trend gets activated and becomes the super trend. And eventually we can follow the trend. Traditionally, while using discretionary trading, often super trend is assumed by some analysts to be a very good reversal signal, a very good momentum signal, or an area of support and resistance. I would not subscribe to all of them, but those discretionary views, I'm keeping it short. I would subscribe to all of those things as signals. But yes, I do believe that there are certain interesting things which are there in super trend. So as a discretionary trader, obviously I can use it the moment I want to, and I can hide it the moment I want to. But as an algorithmic trader, this can be a very integral and interesting feature, an interesting condition in my algorithm, in my algorithm and set of conditions. Okay. So those who want to use it in an interesting way, now there are many creative ways you can use it, but those who want to use it can code it, right? So while coding it, you have to be aware of a few things. Unlike many other indicator functions in other libraries, this particular indicator function of Supertrend takes in the high, low, and the close. So as you can see over here, it is not taking the entire data frame as an input, right? It is going to just take the high and the low and the close in the arrays, and it is going to take the length, it is going to take the multiplier. In case the length and the multiplier is not given, I think it is going to take the default. However, what we are going to do is we're going to take the length equal to 10 and multiplier equal to 3, and we're going to plot it, right? So default over here, they I think take 10 or something. Yeah, sorry, they take 7 over here. Okay. Okay, anyway, this is not particularly what we are going to put. We're going to put 10 and 3. Moving on, let's see how it is calculated over here, not getting into too much details, but as you can see, using the multiplier multiplied by the ATR look back period being 7 over here, okay, we're going to put 10. So using this, there is a middle band and the lower band and the upper band which is created. And having certain if-else condition, in case you want to manually code it sometime, you can have a look at this. You actually get the super trend if the price is above the the lower band and below the upper band in case of downtrend and so on. Okay, so all in all, we are going to see one line. We are going to focus on one line, which will go like this and go up like this. And while this one line is going to be of the same color, later after coding it, you're welcome to put the colors as per your conditions. But for now, I'm going to focus on getting that one line at least and plot the indicator along with the closing prices. So let's get a data frame in which the data of Nifty is stored. And I'm just taking Nifty, you can take anything else, right? So why I've done download, we'll put the symbol of NACI, which is Nifty in Yahoo Finance. I could write a function for it, but I'm just making it a little short and sweet. So let's say the starting date is say 2016, June 1st. Okay. And let's say the end date is somewhere around 2023. Let's make it July, and let's just make it 01. Okay. So this is the start date and the end date, and this is going to give us the oops, I made a small spelling error. This is going to give us the daily data for Nifty. And it is YF is okay, so I forgot to run this. Just a second. So I had to run this right now, just copy this. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, YF download It's happening, and yes, the data download is complete. So DF looks like this, and it has an open, high, low, close in the date column and the adjusted close column. And as we know, in case of index, the close is enough. I don't need to go to the adjusted close, right? And just for a health checkup, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plot this over here. And as you can see, I have a very pretty looking graph. Let me just change the figure size. Right, let's just make it 11.8. Because that's what I like to do. Spelling error. Okay. So here you go. The nice clean daily chart of Nifty. This is how it looks like. You can see the 2020 crash over here, and so on. And right now we are really, really firing up. Now we have the data. Now there are two approaches to actually get the super trend. I'm going to show you both the approaches. The first approach is going to be a slightly step-by-step, very easy, straightforward, but you're not going to be able to reuse the code. In the second approach, you can reuse the code with any data frame. Okay, so this, the second approach is preferable, but just to break it down to a simple thing, I'm going to use the first approach. So over here, as we can see that it is taking these inputs, and what is it returning in the end? It is returning to me. Just a second, guys. 1 second. Yeah, it is returning to me a pd.data frame. It is returning to me a pandas data frame. So in general, what happens is something that takes a data frame, what we would like is the indicator function takes the data frame and returns the same data frame along with the index. But guys, that's not happening over here. It's going to return a data frame. So what I need to do is, let me just copy this bit. So it is easier for me to understand what to input, right? What I have to compulsorily input. So this is the thing. And I'm going to remove this later. So let's create a fresh data frame, which is a super trend, and let's call it SU. Okay. So just calling it SU. SU is equal to, we name the alias pandas underscore TA. So we'll make it TA dot supertrend, which is just calling the supertrend function. And in the supertrend function, we have to input the high, low, and close, but we can't put the entire data frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the DF, input the DF high, then I'm going to input the DF low, then I'm going to input the DF close. I'm going to say that the length, the look back period, as I said, is equals to 10, and the multiplier is equal to 3. Okay. So this should give in return a data frame which will be stored in SU. And once this runs, I'm going to check out how SU dot head looks like, right? How broadly SU looks like. So as you can see, obviously there are a lot of NaN values. And if we do SU dot tail, let me just do it 1 second. Let me just do it separately, so that it just gives an idea to those who may be looking at the code later. SU.tail. So in the beginning, there are a lot of NaN values because a lot of data is required as an input. At least the time period, look back period is required as an input for the data to figure out what the super trend is. And you see that then 4 different columns, right? So this is the super trend. And the first column over here is what we need to extract, which it is a column which we actually need. Okay. So my job is going to be to make sure that in this data frame, which has the Nifty data, we have got the necessary super trend. How can I do that? So first thing first, what I need to realize is that I have got a 0 value over here. I have got a lot of NaN values. That can be a little confusing. So what my goal is going to be to check out the fact that the NaN values go away and the 0th column also eventually goes away, right? So for that, I'm going to make some adjustments. Okay. So let's understand the super trend. Let's isolate the first column first. Okay. And in order to isolate the first column, I can actually, or I can do this, that I can just concat the first column with the data frame which I already have. So in this case, I will say this is the data frame, and the df will be stored in the df itself. I'm going to use pd dot concat, and I'm going to write f comma su, and this particular column. So I'm going to just copy this over here, Control C, Control V. I'm going to concat this along the axis 1. So it will be axis is equal to 1. And whenever I'm coding live, shooting into video, I get a little nervous that in case some error comes in, thank God no error has come up, right? So, so this is how the DF looks like, okay? But we do still have a certain issue, right? So the first issue which I have is I have to get rid of the NaN values. So what I simply do is I do df dot drop NA. No rocket science here, guys. And I make this permanent by in place equal to true. Okay. And now I will have this df, which looks like this, right? So all the NaN values are gone. So my purpose over here is to plot the close and the super. So finally, I've got the super trend on my data frame, right? I need to plot the close and the super trend together. And in order to do that, I'm going to simply do this, close, comma, and paste this again, and use the shortcut, not writing a very long code for this. Fixed size equals 11 comma 8. I like 11, 8, right? So this just fits into the screen very nicely and clearly. And we've got the super trend. Now, there is still one thing which I can't wrap my head around, which is that I've got this long line. And you know why this long line is? This long line over here is because I have got a 0 in the first column, right? So what I got to do now is I got to remove the first column from the entire data frame and create something else. Right? So over here, what I do, 1 second. So what I will do is simply I will use the df.drop, and I'm going to put it over here. Before I actually ask it to plot, just let me make a new cell over here. I'm going to use df.drop x equal to 0. I'm going to say that the data frame is the data frame, but I have dropped the first row actually. Okay? I have dropped the first row. And then the new data, and then my data frame is going to actually have a proper, it won't have a 0 value, it will start from the proper value. Okay. So I don't know why it is showing this red. Is it like 8? Yeah, it's a red. Okay, so this you can see is a super trend. If we want to see it only for the last say 200 days of the market movement, we can just go minus 200 to 0. So this is how it looks like. You can see the color of the super trend is not changing. You are welcome to make those changes, but I'm not making those changes. Here it is pretty clear to me how the super trend is behaving. Okay, so congratulations, we have been able to plot the super trend together. But now the tricky part is that while you have to do so many things to actually get the super trend, why not make it an easy thing to do? Why do you have to repeat this thing every time you have a data frame? So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own function, and we call it super underscore trend. Okay. Earlier it was ta.supertrend. We are going to call it super underscore trend. And within this, I'm going to take the data frame actually as an input, and I'm going to take the obviously the length as an input and the multiplier. Okay. So these are the 3 inputs I'm going to take. And because I've got the data frame, whatever be the name of the data frame, I'm going to take out another set of data and show it to you. Probably I'll take out Nifty, but I'll name it different. Okay. So we'll make it df.close, because you remember the ta.supertrend does not take the entire data frame. It takes in only the certain columns which I wanted to. Okay. So first thing first, I'm going to label these close equal to df.close, close. We don't need the open particularly, so I'll just skip the open. Df and open, and the low is equal to df. Okay. And over here itself, I'm going to create a new sort of, just a second. Yeah, I'm going to create a new data frame, and let's just call it S for the sake of convenience. And S is going to be ta.supertrend. Here I'm applying the supertrend over here, and we already have the high, low, and close defined. And over here, length, I'm going to keep equal to length. And you can write down some other variable if you like, multiplier. Equal to what? Okay. So this should be it. Length equal to length, multiplier equal to multiplier. No spelling mistakes. Let's move on. Okay, so now what it is going to return to me? What is the stage I have come to? It is going to return to me something like this. Okay. Super TD underscore 10 underscore 3 and so on. So as I said, I need the first column. Okay. I need the super T underscore 10 underscore 3 equals 0. But what if I was supposed to put something else in the function, and I was not supposed to put the, the length as 10 and multiply as 3. Okay, what if I was supposed to put something else? So there would be a little bit of confusion. We might need to take the string and just take the section, str and function, etc. So what I cut it down to is that I'm going to simply take the first column. Okay. So whatever is S, whatever the data frame S is, I'm going to take the first column and I'm going to concat it to df. Okay. And while I'm doing that, it is going to be very, very elegant to look like and very, very neat and clean. Okay. So, okay, so it says length is not defined because I have made a spelling error. Yeah. Should be it now. Fine. So I'm going to write this line of code over here that I'm going to say that pd.concat df, which is the data frame which we have input, and then we have got the s.iloc. So basically here we are taking only the first column, okay, and we're going to concat, and in the end it is going to return to me the data frame itself, right? Return df. So this function should work on practically any data frame. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at what we can pull out. So let's call it Nifty this time. We are actually downloading a new data frame, and just to make things a little quicker, I'm going to copy paste this from here, right? So we're just going to copy paste this part, and you can see that I've got this thing. Now, over here, since I have already understood from my previous experience, there could be a small problem with the, with changing the first column, removing the first column, etc. So what I can do is I can actually drop the index and drop the NA values within this itself. So what I can do over here is this. So NA in place. I think this should do the job like that. So let us call it Nifty is equal to Nifty is equal to, what do you call it, super underscore trend. And we give the arguments, the data frame itself. The name of the data frame this time is Nifty. The length which I had to give was 10, and the multiplier 3. I should actually okay, this code should do something, but there is a little bit of a problem. Okay, so this is the capital H. I missed out on. So this code should work out this time. Oh, voila. Yes, it has. Now let's just check out Nifty.head quickly. I should get no zero values and no NaN values, and it should be nice and clear and sweet. Okay, we got this. We've got the super trend 10 and 3. And finally, what I do is I plot them together. And this is how I do it. Nifty, close, oops, close, comma, just copy paste this column name and use the dot plot. If you want, you can rename the column to super trend. That's also something you can do. But then you have to keep in mind that you have to write a little more elaborate function, right? And fixed size equal to 11, comma. Here we go. I hope this works out. Gives us a nice little graph, and here we are. So we got our graph again. And let's just play around with a little bit more so that we get a little more clarity about how to reuse this code. So I'm going to again download the data, and let me just take the data of some other thing. Let's just take Reliance, the stock Reliance, and the symbol for it in Yahoo Finance is reliance.ns. And we call this data frame also. Let me just call it REL. Okay, let me call it Reliance. Complete respect to our top company, right? Okay, there's something wrong with the ticker symbol of for that previous date. Let's just take NAC Bank. So okay, we call it Bank Nifty. I completely forget the symbol sometimes. Okay. Let me just see if I've got the right data frame. I think so. No, I don't think so. So it is called Nifty Bank. Sorry to waste your time, but you can just figure this out, right? So is it called? Oh, it is not called NS. I'm so sorry. It's not called. .NS is not there. So it was NSE Bank, but there was no .NS. Oh, and that was the without the hat Reliance. I think I put the hat by mistake. So we've got the Bank Nifty data. Let's just take a look at Bank Nifty.head. Oh, sorry, syntax error. So this is how the Bank Nifty.head is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that let Bank Nifty be equal to super underscore trend, and we put Bank Nifty, and we put, let's just put the default 10 and 3, and voila. We should get Bank Nifty with the super trend now. So Bank Nifty.head is with the super trend indicator now. As you can see, the super trend indicator is nicely clearly visible. Let's just do the plotting. Bank Nifty, the close. I have to put another bracket, which I missed out, but never mind. And I have to copy paste this. Okay, here. And ladies and gentlemen, this should work out. Okay. Yes, so here we go. Here we have the bank nifty along with the super trend. So you could see that instead of doing too much work, I could simply reuse the code and just let's have like a little like a closer look at it and see only the last 500 days, for example, on the daily chart. This is how it looks like. Now, using the super trend in your, as one of the things which you use to make an algorithmic trading system, a trading model, you can do a lot of stuff, right? And this is something which I would encourage you to do. And if you want to learn more about technical analysis, you want to learn more about trading, or you want to learn specially about algorithmic trading, we have got a course on algorithmic trading, which is continuously running all the time. So you can join in anytime. It's a full-fledged course and we get the videos for a very, very long time. You can contact us on technicallysorted.com. You can simply, if you want to send us a query, you can send us a query. And if you want to contact us, you can contact us, inquire about us, right? You can contact us on the official number, which is given on the homepage itself. And we are open for any queries. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And now, just for all of you, if you want this entire code script, I'm going to make it completely free for all of you. All you need to do is you need to go to my website, technicallysorted.com, and go to the digital product section. And amongst the free digital products, just like I gave the code for coding the RSI divergences, you can find this absolutely for free over here. So don't feel shy, go to technicallysorted.com. So now that we have done the job for today, I'm very happy that we did. You have learned a lot about how to code a particular technical indicator, which normally people don't easily get to, right? And I explained you the entire logic behind it. So all the best and see you in another video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Enjoy.